Hello, everybody, and welcome to Water Talk, brought to you by Water Online. My name is Angela Godwin, and I am joined today with AJ Nelson, president of Hydra-Stop.
Hello.
AJ, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
We're really excited to chat with you a little bit about Hydra-Stop, and maybe for folks that are watching who don't know too much about Hydra-Stop,
Sure.
a brief overview of what you guys do.
Yeah, absolutely. So Hydra-Stop, our mission is to provide solutions for control for municipal and industrial water systems that help make the world a little safer, healthier, and more productive. Ultimately, our goal is to be the provider of choice for anyone who needs a reliable control point in their water or wastewater or industrial water system.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That is a noble mission indeed.
Yep,
Absolutely.
we think so.
So you have some products I'm sure that you're very excited about here
Yes.
at the show. And we are at the American Water Works Association's annual conference and expo. Tell us about your main product that you're discussing here at the event.
Sure. So we're showing off our InstaValve, which is a series of insertion valves that are made for 4 through 24 inch size pipes.
Mm-hmm.
And for those folks who are unfamiliar with insertion valves, and we know there are a lot out there still, an insertion valve is a permanent valve that can be installed in your municipal or industrial water system that can be installed without having shut off water service in your line.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that you can have a permanent control point added to your system without disrupting water service to homes, municipalities, parts of municipalities, businesses, or other critical infrastructure.
So, obviously there are a lot of challenges facing utilities
Yeah,
these days. So how is Hydra-Stop helping utilities address some of these issues?
Sure. So as anyone at the show will know, even with the recent infrastructure funding, our water systems has been underfunded for decades.
Mm-hmm.
And we see the effect of this on a daily basis in the form of over 300,000 water main breaks a year and rising water costs across the country. Unfortunately, with both these issues oftentimes disproportionately affecting some of our hardest hit communities. To add to that, we're seeing an aging and dwindling workforce of water professionals and some of the worst droughts we've ever seen in the U.S. So what all this means is municipalities across the country are looking for solutions to overcome this enormous rehabilitation effort that needs to happen for them to maintain and continue to provide the services and product that they provide to their communities. This is where Hydra-Stop can help. Hydra-Stop's products are safe, cost-efficient, and effective products for water and wastewater system rehabilitation and maintenance. Our valves can be installed in just a couple hours. They're safe for the installers to install, and even more than that, for the municipalities, they can help them avoid or limit planned or emergency shutdowns, which reduces the risk of contaminants entering into those water streams and those depressurized parts of their system. It also helps them stay on time and on budget to their planned routine or emergency maintenance projects because it helps reduce or eliminate the time and costs associated with those shutdowns. Ultimately, what this means for water consumers like you and I, or maybe more importantly, our hospital down the road or the dialysis center around the corner, is we don't have to worry as much about contaminants entering our water system or our water service being shut off for regular maintenance projects. And we get the advantage of all that with a limited impact on our water bill for years to come.
So, we're talking these days about a lot of infrastructure bill funding that's coming out.
Yeah.
So do you have any plans to maybe leverage some of that funding or take advantage of those opportunities?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mentioned it briefly, but insertion valve technology as a resource for water and wastewater rehabilitation and maintenance is a wildly underutilized resource. So, first off, let me just say how happy we are to see this funding coming down the line.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
We know that this funding is going to help municipalities for decades to come, and it's going to benefit communities within those municipalities for decades to come. So at Hydra-Stop, we're just excited to help these municipalities make the best use of that funding as it's coming down the line. Our focus is really on spreading awareness of the technology and driving adoption towards it. So we're 100% focused on reaching out to municipalities, private water groups, engineers, spreading the word out there, make sure people know that this is a resource that they can use to really make good, efficient use of that funding as it starts coming down the line over the next few years.
Excellent. Awesome. How are you going to do that? Like, what's your process for getting into those utilities and letting them know what the opportunities are?
Sure. Yeah. So a lot of hitting the phones, working the networks, and of course coming to shows like this.
Sure.
Setting information out to customers, folks who are interested. I mean, we're scanning about every badge we see here at the show.
Sure.
We've spent a lot of time and investment in our booth, our marketing material, spreading that word, making sure that people know it's a great resource for them, can help them contain the costs of their planned routine emergency maintenance work that they have to do.
Excellent.
And we're just going to keep doing that, spreading that word.
Fantastic. Yeah. Excellent. Now, drought, of course, is a huge issue that we're facing in certain parts of the country. How do HydraStop's products help communities that are struggling with drought?
Sure. Great question. So, there are untold cost and safety benefits to our product. So let me start there, and then I'll pivot into the drought. So, sure. Our INSA valves are safe, cost-effective, and efficient solutions for water and wastewater system management. They allow municipalities to go in, add permanent control points to their system, and that allows them to actually reduce or completely eliminate the need to shut down their water services. That in and of itself can reduce or eliminate the risk of contaminants entering into these depressurized parts of their system. So the safety benefits there are immediate, right? But it also helps municipalities keep their projects on time and on budget by eliminating the costs and time also associated with those shutdowns. One, going out trying to find valves where they can actually isolate, but also working out to community if they have to do things like boil orders or rechlorinations, things like that. From a water saving standpoint, a conservation standpoint, at Hydra-Stop, we actually track every year how many millions of gallons of water our valves will save that year. Yeah, and the number might surprise you. So we took a look at this Denver study, Denver water study that they did, and they looked at the average amount of gallons of water lost, treated water, drinking water lost in water main breaks on different size pipes. And we took a look at our product and we said, if our product was used just one time in its full lifetime as a permanent asset, whether it was installed in a water system just in the right place at the right time through proactive replacement of their control points in their system, or it was installed during a water main break because they didn't have an accessible control point at the point of that water main break. And we said, if it just gets used one time to limit the amount of water that's lost in a water main break, how much water would that save? And I'm proud to say that the valves that we've shipped in 2022 alone will save over 300 million gallons of treated drinking water.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that is incredible.
To put that into context, that's enough drinking water to sustain the entire state of California for about 2 full weeks.
Wow.
And that's just in the first half of the year alone. The products that we
gosh.
shipped. And as we know, the water that gets lost in our systems doesn't stop at water main breaks.
Sure.
Right? There's leaky pipes, fittings, valves, pumps, hydrants all over. So when municipalities go out and do that important rehabilitation work, they're replacing those components in their system and they're closing down those leaks. Our products are also used to limit the isolation of the water system that needs to be done. So instead of going back 3, 4, 6 blocks to try to find a valve to isolate a section of pipe or shutting down a whole subdivision of a community, you can actually install our product at the point of repair and conserve all that water also.
Wow, so really target that area.
All in all, it's a lot of water conserved.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that issue of non-revenue water, I mean, what other industry or manufacturer would let, 10%, 20% of their product just go,
and we know 10 or 20% is not a bad system here.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That's probably on the good side.
Yeah.
I mean, we have 30 to 35, even 40% loss.
Absolutely.
So okay, so let's talk about some advancements and things looking ahead there. What are you guys looking to do to help water utilities going forward?
Sure. So I will say at Hydra-Stop, we like to keep our innovation pretty close to our chest. But what I will say is we are 100% focused on improving the performance, reliability, and overall customer experience of our core product line. I'm happy to say we've built a super sharp team of engineers on our team. If you see some intelligent folks wearing Hydra-Stop shirts, polos walking around today, be sure to say hi. They're here at the show. And they're focused every day just on improving that customer experience of our core product. We want to get it right, and we want to help ourselves drive the adoption and allow people to take on this technology.
That's fantastic. Excellent. Of course, we're all emerging from the cocoon of COVID-19 the last couple of years. How has that affected you, your business, and where do you see, things going in the future?
Yeah. So, first off, glad to see where we are back at ACE and have people here, and the industry seems
in
alive
person,
and thrumming, which is great. So really happy to be back. HydraStop, I think COVID affected us like a lot of companies, and it really forced us to get our priorities straight. And for us, that meant 2 things. So the first was making sure that we could keep our team safe and be able to come to work safe and leave work safe the same way. The second thing was keeping our supply chain intact,
Right.
and making sure we could keep product on the shelf for our customers. So on the safety side, we had a lot of local, state, federal guidance and support that allowed us to put some policies, procedures, and resources in place to make sure that everyone who came into the plant in the morning could leave at night just as safe as they arrived. But more than that, you can have all the PPE policies, procedures in the world. And this is a point where I really need to give a great shout out to the team at Hydra-Stop who kind of banded together and made the commitment to one another to keep each other safe. And because of that, we've been able to keep our doors open throughout the pandemic. On the supply chain side, we've been hit with supply chain shortages just like everybody else. So in addition to, probably thousands of hours at this point, finding new suppliers, getting to know our suppliers, sometimes our suppliers, getting very personal with them. We realized that we needed to focus back on our core product lines. We spent a lot of time in 2018 and 2019 looking at other products that we could add to our portfolio to see what else we could serve our customers with. As the pandemic hit and we realized the challenge of supply chain shortages, we realized we really needed to focus back on that core product line to make sure we could get it right, because these are the products that our customers have grown to know and love. So really limiting a focus.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's nobody's been immune to the supply chain issues.
Definitely not.
It definitely is affecting. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, maybe some final thoughts on what sets you apart in this industry, from some of your competitors. What makes you special?
Yeah. So at HydraStop, we're seeking to differentiate ourselves on our focus on our customers and our dedication to our customers. And for us, what that means is we take pride in building deep relationships with our customers that allow them to be successful. And it really starts with the amazing team we have at HydraStop. So from our most tenured employee who leads our trainings and our technical support, to a position that we created called Customer Advocate Manager, who works on a daily basis to make sure our customers are getting the support and service that they need. Customers are the heart of our business. Even as we're developing our products and improving them or adding new products to our portfolio in the coming years, our customers play a vital role. They steer us in the right direction of what we need to be looking at, and we listen. And they give us their feedback and experience.
That's awesome.
We know we wouldn't be the company we are today without our customers, and we know we can't reach the goals that we want to reach if we don't continue to develop these relationships. So that's where our focus is.
That's fantastic. It's nice to hear that because, at the end of the day, the customers are the key, right, to success.
Yeah, and they're doing the great work of maintaining our water system. So.
And speaking of customers, if there are any watching or potential customers watching, where can they go to learn a little bit more about HydraStop?
Yeah, so first off, if they're here at the show, encourage them to come to 14107 to the HydraStop booth. But if they're not here at the show, I encourage them to go to HydraStop.com, HYDRA-STOP.com.
HydraStop.com. Excellent. AJ, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Really
Pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And for Water Talk, powered by Water Online, my name is Angela Godwin.